Hello, I'm Dr. Jeremy Moretti, Senior Scientist of Infant and Child Psychology. Welcome back, and welcome to my lecture. Today, I'll be discussing parenting styles that shape children's behaviors. Now, developmental psychologists have been interested in how parents influence the development of children's social-emotional development and instrumental competence since at least the 1920s. One of the most robust approaches to this area is the study of what has been called parenting style. We've all heard about it. Now, keep in mind that parenting style includes many specific behaviors that work individually and together to influence child outcomes. Now, I'll take you on a quick journey about how we scientists studied parenting styles. So come along and let's talk theory. The construct of parenting style can be attributed to a developmental psychologist who came up with this concept of categorizing parents. This psychologist's theory of parenting styles were based on two categories of parenting that are found to be extremely important. The first was parental responsiveness, which refers to the degree the parent responds to the child's needs. The second was parental demandingness, which is the extent to which the parent expects more mature and responsible behavior from a child. And using these two dimensions, this developmental psychologist recognizes three different parenting styles that reflect different naturally occurring patterns of parental values, practices, behaviors, and a distinct balance of responsiveness and demandingness. I'll now discuss the three parenting styles. Number one, the first one, is the permissive parent, which attempts to behave in a non-punitive way. They accept and affirm all behaviors and impulses that the child desires. Basically lets them do whatever they want. The parent in this case consults with the child about decisions and gives explanations for family rules. This is the parent who makes few demands, if any, for household responsibility and orderly behavior. This parent presents themselves to a child as a resource for him or her to use as he or she wishes, and not as an ideal for him to model, nor as an active agent responsible for shaping or altering his ongoing or future behavior. This parent allows the child to regulate his own activities as much as possible, like staying up late, avoids the exercise of control, and does not encourage him or her to obey externally defined standards or rules or boundaries. And this is a parent who attempts to use reason and manipulation, but not overt power to accomplish their ends. The second parenting style is the authoritarian parent. This is a parent who is highly demanding and directive, but not responsive. They are obedience and status oriented and expect their order to be obeyed without explanation. These parents provide well-ordered and structured environments with clearly stated rules. And keep Now, the third parenting style is the authoritative parenting. This parent attempts to direct the child's activities, but in a more rational or issue-oriented manner. The parent encourages verbal give and take, shares with the child the reasoning behind her policy or rules, and asks his or her objections when he or she refuses to conform. Both autonomy or self-will and discipline are valued, but not done in a harsh manner. The values are both expressive and instrumental attributes for a healthy childhood. They are assertive, but not intrusive, and restrictive. Their disciplinary methods are supportive rather than punitive. They enforce their own perspective as an adult, but also recognizes the child's individual interests and special ways or uniqueness. The authoritative parent affirms the child's present qualities. In other words, they celebrate who the child is, but also they set social standards for future conduct. And these types of parents use reason, power, and shaping by organization and reinforcement to achieve their objectives. And they don't base their decisions on group consensus or the individual child's desires. Now, there is a fourth parenting style that was studied years later, and this is called the uninvolved parent. These are parents who are low in both responsiveness and demandingness in extreme cases. This parenting style might encompass both rejecting, neglecting, and neglectful parents. These parents have rejected their children or are so overwhelmed with their own stresses in life and problems that they don't have much time or energy to devote to raising their child. Now keep in mind that parenting styles also differ in the extent to which they are categorized by a third dimension: psychological control. Psychological control refers to a control attempts that intrude into the psychological and emotional development of the child through use of parenting practices such as guilt, induction, humiliation, withdrawal of love, or even shaming. I am now going to share with you solutions to parenting that I have learned over the years. These are called the 8 L's. And we all know that 8 is a lucky number, right? Number 1, love your child. L for love. For your child to be successful, he or she must feel valued. Your gentle touches, your smiles and hugs communicate love. Giving your undivided attention, especially at the end of each day. This demonstrates caring. Number 2, look. Look for the good in your child and make specific comments on what he or she does well. You must believe in your child's worth before he or she can believe it themselves. If you want your child to have self-confidence and motivation, watch for positive behaviors and comment on them. We also like that as adults as well. Number 3, listen. Listen without judgment to your child. Express his or her thoughts and feelings. Listen. If you do not listen, your child may attempt to gain your attention by misbehaving. Number 4, laugh. Laugh with your child. Not at him or at her, but demonstrate a sense of humor as you cope with life's difficulties. Laugh and play together. Number 5, labor. Labor diligently with pride so that your child will want to work hard, persevere, and do his or her best. So show them that work is fun and good. Number 6, learn. Learn new information. It is fine to say, I don't know, but then both of you can find out together. Take the time to read and thus instill a love of learning. On car trips, for example, play word games. Read or listen to books on tape. Number 7, leave. Leave the television and other media off. Many programs and video games desensitize your child towards violence and contribute to fearfulness and aggression. Place computers in a central location to monitor internet use. And finally, number 8, live. Live life to its fullest. Take pleasure in the little things like an ice cream cone, a beautiful day, or the enthusiasm of your child. Read, pretend dance, sing, take walks, play games, have pleasant meals, look at photos, share your dreams, and just enjoy each other. All of this information is great. However, some of you are probably wondering how we get our spouses, usually the husband, on board to help in parenting using these tips. Well, I'm here to share with you some thoughts on how to get fathers engaged in parenting. As a father myself, I understand the importance of being directly involved during the parenting process. Too often, we find that messages about dads are very negative in tone. For example, why don't they hear the baby crying in the middle of the night? Or why don't they help more around the house? What can you do about it? Well, first, the impression seems to be that men aren't motivated to become involved with their child or simply don't understand what children need. So how can we get dads more involved? It's a great question. Some researchers have suggested that the single strongest predictor or whether a father will be positively involved with his children has to do with the quality of relationship he has with his wife. It's not just about romantic partnership, but working as co-parents. The approach of working on the communication and making each other happy has supported the claim that they parent more effectively when they were warmer, more encouraging, and were more responsive to their child's needs. So, my take-home message for this lecture is please communicate with each other, with the family, about your parenting style, and come to a common ground when it comes to parenting your child or children. I hope you enjoy your day. 谢谢。